guys, Ellen Woodbridge here, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Welcome to card 1 of my Christmas in July / Golden Greenery class. So this is the first video. I will have 3 exclusive cards for you, as well as 4 projects on the project sheet with measurements and where everything is found on the catalogue or on the online store. So this is card 1. Give you a look, a little bit of sparkle shine gold. I have used the Golden Greenery stamp set and Greetings of the Season. I have also used the matching Golden Greenery dies. I've also used a couple here. Oops, except we've stuck because this is magnetic. And to cut out our gold foil, I have used the radiating stitches die, which is this one here. So that one just goes in there. Love these, so versatile, and love the detail to them. So the designer series paper I have used is this one here, but I'm going to find the full sheet for you so then you can have a look, because I have used so much of this paper. So this is the full sheet, so you get the 3 different leaves there, and these die cut out with those coordinating dies. And this is that starburst paper, and that is the B side. So this is the Graceful Greenery Vellum. You've once again got those cut apart sheets. So I have used the Sprig cut apart sheet, and you've also, so you've got that, and then you've got this like snow speckled paper vellum as well. So that is what I have used out of the papers. Just need to find a place for them to live for the moment. So here is the card. I have everything. I did have everything dropped on the floor. What's new about that with me? I did also use the Happy Little Things dies to die cut out the sentiment, and these are 2 sentiment dies here. This is the other one, so that's the other sentiment die. Okay, so that can just go over there. So what I am going to start with, I'm going to start by stamping our Real Red cardstock. So I've kind of used Real Red and Old Olive here. So I haven't mounted my stamps, but I've got my blocks here, and I've also got my Versamark ink pad stamp set. So the 2 stamps I'm going to use are this one and this one. Are these the ones? No. Yes. Actually, I'm going to use these 2 just to give a little bit of texture to the background, but I didn't want to use Real Red and have it competing with what we're actually putting on top. I just wanted a nice subtle pattern. So we're just going to go around the outside because we know what we are putting in the middle. So I'm just going to alternate these 2. And it won't matter if I stamp off or stamp onto the back. That won't really make too much of a difference. Now, it doesn't look like much when you stamp this straight away. But when the ink dries, you can really just see that beautiful watermark effect. So I'm just happily going all the way up here. So this won't take long, but it is well worth the stamping. So hopefully you can already see some of these original ones that I stamped drying. I'm going to try and avoid, which I should have done at the start, avoid stamping up this branch or sprig, the end of the sprig, but that's okay. All is good. And we hope and pray that we have enough room down here for 3 more stamps. So I want to do one of these, then one of these, and then we haven't got 2 together. Now, if they overlap here at the end, it's really, truly not going to matter at all. Okay. But I think I have done that perfectly. So there's not much overlap. I have used our Versamark ink pad, not for embossing, to do the true watermarking effect as to why it was actually invented or generated. So hopefully you can see that. I'm going to put that aside to dry, and I'm going to do all of our stamping. So I like to do all of our stamping first and then our assembling. So I've got that there, got a jig. So I have a couple of bells. I have this all set up on my Stamparatus. So this is something, any stamp positioning tool will work really well. This is just what I have and something that Stampin' Up used to sell. They do not sell it anymore, but any stamp positioning tool will be able to do this. So the 2 colours I've used to create the bells are Lemon Lolly and Daffodil Delight. So I've already got the detail on here, which means I'm actually going to start with Daffodil Delight. And all I want to do here is just piece in these bells. Now, I know for a fact I haven't perfectly lined these up. That was my bad, but they work out perfectly fine. Okay, so I've got that. I've got my Daffodil Delight here, and I'm going to do both of these at exactly the same time. So give those a little push. Now, it doesn't matter that this one came out because it's going to go straight back in. Now, I have chosen to kind of mix Very Vanilla and Basic White on a lot of these projects. I'm just going to give this a bit of a wipe off with my cloth, and this is how we flip this for the next colour. Close my ink pad because I've already got ink on my hand now. That's always the way. Okay. I just use the little divot here and I push that through and flick it over. Okay. Now, with this one, you just open it like a makeup compact and push it back through. So this is Lemon Lolly. I've already turned it around. I've got those bells in there perfectly. Great. I am actually going to close this off screen straight away because that is dealt with, and I'm just going to close over these bells, and that is those bells done, ready to go. I am going to use this jig again on our second card to make, I think it's a big bell, but we will be using 2 different colors. So I'll give you 2 different colorways with this, with the bells for you. So now we are taking this plate off, and I'm going to replace it with the Merry and the Christmas. So I want to show you that stamp set. So we have a mixture of script and typed style font. So I've taken the Merry and the Christmas and used them together, but they do very easily. You can put a script and a typed together and they look fantastic. Just for this, I did choose to use these because they fitted. Oh, I'm throwing it away here. They did fit better on these Happy Little Things banners. So let me pop this up here. Make sure we are on the right side. I'm just going to use my magnet here. Yes, that is correct. Turn this over. Pop my little banners here in the jig. This is great for mass producing because I could do a bazillion. I wouldn't do a bazillion. I'd be very, very bored by the end. But we can do lots of these just by using this jig. So, real red ink, because that matches. Oh, that was a great catch, everyone. Thank you so much. So if I need to stamp this a second time, I can, but we're thinking positive, and these are going to be wonderful. Perfect. Very, very happy with that. Just going to move the card there. I am just going to give it a bit of a wipe off before I clean it later. So take this off and I'm going to put on my bells again for the next project. Going to be kind to myself and do that. So now that we have done all this stamping, we are now up to assembly. So this needs to go this way and this one needs to go that way. Okay, so let's get assembling. Bring everything down. So out of these dies, I actually am doing it a little bit differently. I'm using 2 sprigs and some of the mistletoe actually. So that is I'm just having a look here. Yeah, that is the right side. Sometimes it's really hard. So we do have this die as part of the golden greenery dies, and that just cuts out that sprig, and this outline cuts out this, and then we've got the other outline to cut out the designer series paper. Okay, so we have used irradiating stitches to cut this one, and I'm just got to remove some of these pieces out of here. So I take your pick tool, because I think I cut a couple of cardstock layers at a time. I really only need those bottom areas because this is going to be covered up. Now, I normally don't use Tombow glue with my vellum, but for this I'm more than happy to, because they're actually going to be covered by the bells. Okay, so just going to pop a dot there, and I kind of want to go close-ish to the top, and happy to have it go over because I've got a fair bit of space. And then, so this one I'm actually going to put on dimensionals. Now, rather than tempting fate, I'm actually going to close this ink pad because I'm leaning right over it and I know I'm going to get ink all over myself. Okay, that is closed. We are safe. So let's grab some, if they want to come out, always the way with me. Grab some dimensionals. I think I'll only really need one or two. One here, one there, and I'm still going to put glue up this end. So I'm just going to pop those there so I know what I've got to deal with. So I just use this hook tool to grab these off. It makes it nice and easy for me. Now I am going to pull this down just a little bit and kind of angle it off, and then I'm going to fill in that gap in the middle with this. So, well, don't get glue on your hand. I'm actually going to kind of, well, maybe I should have put this in first, but that's okay. Or what I might do is just slide this under there. So you've kind of got three different textures, because we've got our specialty paper with the gold, we've got our old olive cardstock, and our vellum. Okay, next I am going to attach our bells. Now, once again, I'm not worried that these holes in the top of the bell aren't pulled out, because I am going to use the linen thread. If this wants to come off, I'm going to use the linen thread to make a bow at the top, so that will cover both. I only need one each of these. Okay, so I kind of want the big one underneath, even though they're going to be the same height. I want the big one underneath and the little one over the top. Okay. So I kind of just want to bring that to the top there, where I'm going to be covering up all of those sprigs. So you can see quite a bit of this does get covered up, but it's worth it. So these don't totally cover up, but I've got the bow to go over the top. I'm going to leave these sentiments to last, because we're going to pop this piece on dimensionals. Actually, I can do it now. So I'm going to put 3 mini dimensionals over the top, and then on this end I'm going to double up the dimensionals. Okay, one. Oh, that one doesn't want to work. No, it really, haha, it does want to come off now. Whoop. Okay, put 3 on the other one, and then we'll do the double up, so that's ready. So I didn't, or I'm not going to add any additional embellishments to this card because it's got the gold. We're going to add some Winker Stella at the end. We've got the twine, so I want to take that end off and that end off. So I have to take off the backing, then add another dimensional over the top. You can stack these up as much as you like, but I do want that sentiment to sit flat, so I do want 2. Oops-a-days. There we go. 1 and 2. There we go. So that is ready, but as I said, I'm not going to do that right this very second. What I'm going to attempt to show you what to do is to do a double bow. So all I do is I pull this twine out, if I can grab the end. Come on. Right. Oh dear. What's happened here? Oh, it's because I'm probably holding... Aha. A separate bit has come off. Okay, that's fine. So what I want to do, probably going to use far too much twine here. So I'm going to bring this back a little bit and I'm going to double it up so I've got 2 strands. And I'm just going to create, I'm just going to try and run it through my finger just to get rid of some of those curly cues. So I have 1 loop and then I'm going to go around and create a hole to bring through our second bow. And ta-da, we have a double bow. Please don't ask me to do that again because I may not be able to replicate it. I have probably used a bit too much twine, but hey, that's okay. Just going to pull through this end, match these up a little bit because they are a little bit long. There we go. Grab my ribbon scissors. So I'm going to cut these off. Okay, that I could use again, but I'm not going to. It's going to go in the rubbish. So I'm finished with that and I've got my ends here. They are a bit they're not even at this stage, but what I want to do before I trim them is adhere to the top of the bells. Now the best way to do this is with glue dots, and I'm probably going to use more than 1, but I am going to fold it in half if it wants to come off the backing. Or maybe 1 will be fine, to tell you the truth. Okay, going to angle this down. Going to make sure these are down, and I'm going to pop that like that. So I have thoroughly wrangled them. Just going to actually just trim the ends first. If you're my ribbon scissors, you would be over here. Thinking that end might actually be okay. It's more this end that needs a little bit of wrangling. I would really like the bows to be further up here. Look, they're going to be where they be, but I can definitely try and wrangle them all the same. But that essentially is where we're at. I'm going to adhere this to the card base so you can see where that has dried to. So I have pre-scored this card base, and now I'm going to grab my bone folder and reinforce that fold. Okay, so that is perfect. I'm going to use probably the rest of this sheet of full dimensionals, and then we get to cut up the sides and use those, because don't waste them. They're great to use. And then there will be one for the middle, because there are no saggy middles on my cards. And one for the middle. Pop that back out of the way. Grab here, and then we just have one final finishing touch. Okay, get rid of those backings. I'm successfully using this tool, not getting as many dimensional backings all around my house. That needs to go maybe a little bit more towards the top. So I do have a little bit of dead space there, but that's okay. I can deal with that. And now we're going to bring in our sentiment strips. This is probably a bit of an involved card, but I think if you pre-did everything like I have here, spend some time in front of the telly, watching a TV show or a movie that you've watched a bazillion times, you could do lots of mass production, and then you can assemble in the same way. So this is a project that probably would be a labour of love. That is actually really crooked. So let me pop this one corner. Doesn't matter which corner I get up, as long as I get one. So then I can straighten that up. That is much better. So the correct one actually stuck to my hand. I'm going to line up Christmas just like that. And I'm going to unstick the Merry and put that a little further up, but on the same, so we're stacking them together. So there's that, my finishing touch. I'm hoping you can see some of that sparkle. I have taken the Winker Stella pen and I'm going to add it to the detail parts of the bells. So just pulling that to the side, and I like to do it when it's all stuck down. So then if any does want to transfer, it's actually not transferring to my hand because it's already on the card. So that, just one swipe there, one swipe there. That actually finishes our first card. I'd love to know, do you like the mistletoe version or the sprig only version? That's the only difference in both of these cards. So thank you so much for joining me for card 1. Enjoy card 2, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.